The town and the threat. Maplewood breathed slowly, as if every brick in its streets carried memory and patience. The narrow, red-brick roads wound between low buildings, and every uneven sidewalk creaked under the footsteps of its residents. The old, resilient shops, silent guardians of generations, released familiar scents: warm bread, freshly roasted coffee, wood burning in fireplaces. In the central market, flowers spread sweet, intense perfumes, while the rustling of leaves danced between the hands of passers-by. That Monday morning, Sophie found the newspaper on the kitchen table. The headline announced in large letters, "Mega Shopping Center. Speculators want it all." At 24, Sophie tightened her grip on the paper. America First wasn't just a slogan to her. It was concrete protection of the community. The small shops, the families, the market, they were Maplewood's life. The article explained that the investors wanted full control of the entire shopping center, with no reserved spaces for local businesses and no shares allotted to the town. "We can't let Maplewood get suffocated," she murmured, breathing in the aroma of freshly poured coffee. Across town, Robert Whitman sat on his porch watching the square. A veteran of too many wars, his face marked by scars of time and years of hardship, he had learned that power without respect was useless. The news of the commercial project left him uneasy. The investors were greedy and arrogant, and the enthusiasm of the townspeople could easily turn into illusion. Protecting the town is right, he thought, as he breathed in the scent of damp earth and burning wood. Sophie knocked on his door a few hours later. "Uncle, we have to act. If these investors get everything, Maplewood has no future." Robert looked at her, serious. "Enthusiasm isn't enough, Sophie. Change requires effort, pain, and negotiation. Some will lose. Others will criticize us. Protecting the community doesn't mean stopping everything. It means guiding change responsibly."
In the days that followed, Sophie began gathering shop owners, students, and worried citizens. The market hall was packed. The smell of Margaret the bookseller's novels mixed with the aroma of freshly baked cookies and coffee from nearby cafes. Every shelf held memories. Every shop was a concrete story. "We can't let speculators decide everything," Sophie said. "We need to negotiate, set limits, protect our spaces. This town deserves to have a say." Robert sat in a corner, hands folded. "Sophie, change isn't a battle between good and evil. Some shops will close, some families will be disappointed, and some will criticize us. It's inevitable. The strain is real, and we can't ignore it." Shop owners nodded. Some muttered under their breath. The scent of fresh paint on protest signs mixed with bread and burning wood. Every choice carried weight. This wasn't just politics. It was their everyday lives. Tommy, a young student, raised his hand. "If we do nothing, we lose everything, right? Isn't a little pain worth the chance to save the town?" Sophie nodded, fully aware of the responsibility. "That's exactly. Change is painful. Some will lose, and there will be criticism. But if we don't act, everything will be decided by others, with no future for those who stay." Robert sighed, his gaze drifting toward the town streets. "Not everyone will accept compromise. That's life. Pain, effort, and negotiation. But it's the only way to survive and grow together." In the following days, the investors arrived in town with suitcases, elegant suits, and speeches full of promises. Their scent of wax and aftershave clashed with bread and burning wood, creating a jarring atmosphere. "Maplewood is a gem," one of them told Sophie, his voice smooth. "But we want complete control of the project. No town shares, no reserved spaces. You can only watch."
Anger rose in Sophie's chest, but she hid it behind a practiced smile. That won't happen. This town has history, identity, and community. We won't hand everything over. Robert approached, calm, breathing in the smell of earth and wood. You see, Sophie, this is exactly why change is painful. If we don't negotiate, we lose everything or get crushed. We have to be realistic. The negotiations began, slow, exhausting, amid papers, contracts, and financial calculations. Every decision was a tug-of-war between ideals and reality. The day of the assembly, the town hall was more crowded than ever. The air was thick with contrasting smells: wooden benches, paper documents, coffee from nearby cafes, and a sweet note of freshly baked cookies. Citizens moved through the hallways and chairs, whispering, muttering, exchanging notes and papers. Sophie stepped onto the podium, taking a deep breath. The crowd's buzzing softened. Maplewood must survive. We can't let major speculators decide without limits. Protecting our town means making bold choices, negotiating, and fighting for our community. Applause, whistles, and grumbles broke out. Older residents shook their heads. Younger ones raised their hands to speak. Robert stood slowly, his voice firm but not authoritarian. Sophie is right to defend the community, but beware. Change brings pain. Some will lose, others will criticize. Compromise is inevitable. We can't stop the world, but we can guide it to save what truly matters. The investors in the front row exchanged tense glances. One stood, voice smooth but cutting. Ladies and gentlemen, we understand your passion, but Maplewood needs modernity. Without our full project, you risk economic stagnation. We offer infrastructure, jobs, growth. Sophie gripped the wooden podium, breathing in the scent of the old floor as her heart raced. Growth doesn't mean erasing our memory, erasing who we are. Maplewood isn't just a place to fill with anonymous stores. It's our home, and it's our responsibility to defend it. Robert felt the tension, but remained calm. The compromise will be painful. Some shops will close, some families will be disappointed. But if we don't negotiate, everything will be decided by others, without our voice. The strain of change is inevitable. Let's prepare.
Internal negotiations continued for days, between meetings at town hall, coffees in local bars, and long walks through Maplewood's streets. Sophie walked among shops and citizens, listening to conflicting opinions. The scent of market flowers, bakery bread, and burning wood blended with the smell of documents and the wooden meeting room, forming a tangible sense of reality. Some shop owners were furious. They feared change even more than economic failure. Others were skeptical. Accepting even a small share for investors felt like surrender. Robert walked beside Sophie, speaking softly. Look, Sophie, no one will be completely happy. That's the price of reality. We have to get the best we can without giving anyone false hopes. Compromise is the only path. Sophie nodded, exhaustion weighing on her mind and body. Every decision felt like a stone. The town was alive, and it expected everything from her. In the end, the investors agreed to give the town 30% of the shares, reserve spaces for local shops, and fund cultural initiatives. Some shop owners had to adapt, others closed, and part of the community felt disappointed. Criticism was inevitable. Sophie received cold stares, protest letters, bitter comments. But the town survived. Robert watched from his porch, breathing in the scent of earth and wood. Not everyone will be happy. Some lost, others will criticize. Change takes effort, but that's life, facing pain and compromise to secure a future. Sophie walked the streets, taking in the scents, sounds, and colors of the community. She understood that protecting the town wasn't just patriotism. It was mediation, sacrifice, and accepting that some losses are inevitable.
In the following months, Maplewood found a new rhythm. The shops that survived flourished. Students filled courtyards and halls with music, theater, and exhibits. Margaret ran her bookstore with pride, while Tommy and his friends organized cultural events. Some closed shops left gaps, but new spaces were taken over by small businesses monitored by the town council. The central market still smelled of bread, coffee, and flowers. Sophie walked through the streets, listening to the sounds around her, watching families and children play. Robert sat on his porch, breathing the fresh wind, carrying the scent of earth and wood. "Change is painful," he told Sophie, "but necessary." The community endured. It learned to negotiate, to sacrifice, to survive. Sophie nodded. Maplewood is alive. The compromise isn't perfect. Some lost, others criticize. But we protected our town. We faced strain and pain, and it made us stronger. The sun set over the red brick storefronts and the new signs of the shopping center. Scents, sounds, and colors reminded everyone that real life is never perfect. Change is effort, pain, and negotiation. Maplewood kept breathing, stronger, wiser, truly home.
Thanks for staying till the end. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel to stay updated. Leave a like to sweeten the spirits of the algorithm. And tell me, when big investors arrive, is it an opportunity or an invasion?